Hey awesome ones, I'm Heather.
And I'm Bill.
And today we thought we would talk about the downsizing of your home dilemma. And even if you're in a home that you absolutely love, you've raised the kids there and everything, and you're not even really thinking of downsizing or changing your home, we have done it. And there's a few golden nuggets in this video, and whether you know you're ready now or maybe you're thinking maybe later, I hope you enjoy it, and it all starts
in just a few seconds.
So I remember, Bill, it was about 6 years ago, and Bill and I, we were on this kind of commuter train. We lived out in the burbs, and we were on our way, I think it was a hockey game, right?
Yeah, as Heather said, we lived about 50 minutes away, or taking the commuter train into the city to see some sporting event. And
the thing was that, whenever we're on a train, we're just yakking to each other, and all of a sudden Bill turned to me and he said, "Heather, I want to ask you something, and I don't think you're going to like it." Well, as a woman, that is not the kind of thing that you want to hear. It's like, oh my gosh, what is this?
Well, even as a guy, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. And I'm like, okay, spill it out, what is it? And he said, "I think I would like to move to the city." And how long did it take? I think it's so weird. We had been living in this home. We'd sunk a lot of money into this home
over the years. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Money pit.
And actually, we're going to show you some pictures right now of the home that we lived in. And you can see in these pictures that we had this beautiful pool. We had all of the furniture. We had actually, in this particular picture, we put a new fireplace. We had 3 fireplaces in the home, a pool, a sauna, a hot tub. We had 5 bedrooms, and we had 4 kids, so everything was working out great. And you would think that I would have looked at you after you asked this and said, well, let me really think about that, but I answered in about five seconds. Really?
Well, yeah, I think because at that point, your life is changing.
Yeah, that's it. And what, 3 out of the 4 kids have already moved out of the house. They were off to college or university.
Yep.
And it was a big house. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but again, it's something that was good for that phase of the life we were in, that time phase that we were in. Now, things are changing. You don't always need what you have now later.
And the thing about, a lot of people, they even say to me, because of course a lot of our friends are our age, and they say, oh, I could never leave. This was the family home, all my memories are there. And how do you talk about that?
And this may sound harsh, but to me it's just bricks and mortars. To a degree. To me, the home and those memories are all up here. It's wherever you go in life, you bring it with you, as long as your health says you can do it. And to leave a home is necessary, I think, in a lot of cases.
Well, one of the reasons that it seemed to be necessary for us, besides the fact that we are city people. We absolutely love the city, and we belong to the city. That was in the back of my mind thinking about that. But the other thing is, your mom was 89, 90 years old.
Yeah, I mean, we've been here about 6 years going on. Yeah, in this home here.
Yeah.
So yeah, late 80s, up there, and we were already seeing signs that. She's still living at home. That's the thing. So I could see down the road that, let's plan ahead. And I mean, that wasn't the only reason we wanted to go to the big city.
And what we did with, in planning this for your mom, she insisted there is no way that she wanted to leave her home. And we're the kind of people, we're now in this home, we'll get around to this home in a minute, but in this home, we're literally 2-minute drive to her home. And we have care for her that comes in twice a day, and her meals are there and everything else. So it's a good situation for her, and that was one of the things that we really wanted to think about. But let's get back to the city, because here we left this beautiful home that we just showed you, and what we decided to do was really, we couldn't fit everything in. Well, let's just talk about this house. It's a small, little semi-detached home. It has 3 small bedrooms. So the master bedroom's a good size, I guess. It has 3 washrooms. You've seen it in a lot of our videos. You know, just a regular sized living room, dining room, kitchen. And it had a basement apartment, which was great for our 4th child that she was studying and she wasn't ready to leave the nest yet. And our rule is if you're studying and you're getting ready for a career, cool, you can live here. And she lived here for a while, and that worked out. But you know, we had to declutter because here we are moving into a home probably a quarter of the size of what we left, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you could see our garage here when we first moved in, it was just, you couldn't, Heather, are you in there? Bill, are you in there? And I mean, we did a video a while ago on cleaning it up, so it got cleaned up. But it's back to where it was.
Well, that's because the kids keep on saying, I'm moving. Can I leave my couch here? Can I leave my, this doesn't fit in my place anymore. Can I? So it's become a catch-all. But anyway, that's another story.
Yeah.
The thing is that when we moved, we decluttered. We put a bunch of stuff on the lawn. It would be gone in a minute. And this man here, he throws out so many things, and he ordered 2 of those junket great big bins. And I would sort of say to him, you know, I'm packing up, but I don't seem to be able to find, and then I'd see it in the bin. What was it with that?
When in doubt, throw it out, I always say. But in
the long run, you know, I guess
if you're not going to use it again, you know what I mean? Either, well, Heather has this, what are those 3 things you wrote down?
Throw it out, declutter. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Throw out, which is toss it, and donate it, or sell it. I mean, some of the things, we had all those fold-up tables and things, and we sold a bunch of things, and we got some money for it, and it kind of just helps with the moving expenses.
Yeah, bought some pizza and wine.
Maybe. But, you know, let's talk about where you could move to, because we just keep talking about ourselves and where we moved to. We moved to the city. We are 3 minutes away from, or 3 blocks, so I guess, away from the beach, so we can walk on the boardwalk. We also, as far as the pool is concerned, we found some hotels where we can get a day pass for $40 each and go swimming in a pool that is there for us all the time. And then what we left behind was the maintenance.
Yeah, you know, I always said to Heather, I said, now that the kids are older, and I mean, they're adults now, and they're kind of on their own, I said, you know what, we don't need this big house anymore. And I was getting tired of all the maintenance and repairs and upkeep. Now, Heather and I, we're pretty busy in what we do now with our business, and it wasn't laziness. It was just, I don't want to keep up with that
And
anymore.
nobody was swimming in the pool anymore. Like even, you know, you got to get chlorine for it. You have to make sure that the heater has propane in it. You have
electricity, whatever.
pH balance and all of this stuff. And for what? You know, we were hardly ever really being around the pool. So a lot of, and heating the house, and, you know, all those bedrooms where the kids weren't there anymore, the heat's just going, the air conditioning's just going. There's so many extra costs that we didn't need anymore. But I did want to talk about, you know, where to move to. And a lot of people are moving to the country.
Yeah, you know, here's a flip side. Now, we're talking about ourselves and hopefully trying to relate it to you guys. But yeah, a lot of people do move to the country in terms of a downsizing, you're saying?
Well, you know, maybe it's a downsizing, but, or maybe they have a big, I don't know, house on a lake. Some of these cottages are really like houses these days, but they decide they want to go out to the country. Now, what I say about that is, great for you, but remember a few things. Remember that you have to get into your cottage all the time. If you live in a winter climate, you know, you've got to think about who's going to take care of it, because a lot of the people that live in the cottages are not going to be there in the winter, so guess what? Those roadways are up to you. Also, if you need to be close to a doctor or a hospital or something like that, a lot of times these investments that you make, they may be short-term, because you may decide, oh geez, I got to move back, you know, closer to, I'm what, an hour away from a hospital or something. So those are kind of the considerations.
Well, especially, you know, being awesome over 50, things do pop up, hopefully not serious, but a lot of times you have to have access to specialists, whether it be for the teeth or your body. But that's a key right there to keep in mind when you do go out to the country like that.
The other choice that a lot of people make are condos.
Yeah, again, the two different lifestyles. Now we are talking in this video about downsizing, and there's so many places you can downsize, and Heather just touched on another one. Yeah,
and in a lot of these cottage country areas too, they are building the low-rise condos. But when you decide to move into a condo, especially from a 5-bedroom home or something along those lines to a 1-bedroom condo, you might have 2 washrooms or something, but you've got a balcony. And the one thing that I said to Bill, I said, I don't care where we move, I need a patch of grass. And with this home, we have a sliding glass door from the kitchen. Little Hurricane can run out in the backyard. We got a little patch of grass for doing our barbecuing, and we have a deck. And you don't get that with a balcony. And the other thing to think about is, the size of it is one thing. If your kids do say, hey, I got to come back home for a little while, you need to have the space for them if that's the kind of parent that you are. And also remember your groceries. You have to take these groceries up on the elevator all the time, and you have to park your car in the underground, and sometimes you're coming home at 11 o'clock at night or something along those lines. Think about all of the things. And the other thing to think about are the maintenance fees.
Yeah, it's a lot of things.
Oh my gosh, like in the city, I know people who are paying $800 a month for maintenance fees, and they don't even have a pool in the complex. It's just that, and then special assessments come out because all of a sudden the underground garage is leaking or something. And those are the things to remember, is that it's not like your own home to repair. A lot of times you're on the hook to repair some of the big things as well. So, and it's the lifestyle. For us, we love the jazz festivals and walking down the street, and we love being able to go to a restaurant when we want to, or a play, and maybe you want the serenity of just being on a lake and living, and it's really up to you, right?
Well, it is. It all boils down to your lifestyle. You're going to downsize. What is your lifestyle? Do you want to be out in the country or the rural area and just have that peace and quiet, or do you want to be in the city, maybe trying to feel the vibe of the city? Like Heather mentioned, all those things, going out to dinners at different restaurants, seeing some symphonies, some theater. I mean, it's all about the individual and the phase of your life.
And the other thing that you were talking to me about today, Bill, is traveling.
Yeah, like how many people have we talked to in the last few years that have said, oh yeah, I just want a little 1-bedroom apartment, just myself or my wife and I, and we close the door and
travel.
We travel around the world. That's perfect too. So see, that's their lifestyle, and that's perfect. So there is not one definitive answer for everybody.
Even if you live in a small home too, you can get somebody to cut the grass fairly inexpensively, grab your mail. But again, you don't feel like, oh my gosh, I'm leaving the pool to turn green, and I'm leaving the grass to turn brown, and people are going to kind of know that you're away somewhere. So the smaller homes are nice like
sorry,
that.
Heather, it also depends on what you're doing in life. Not everybody into their late 50s and 60s is going to retire. A lot of people, even if they do retire, as Heather's mentioned, they're rehired, whether they rehire themselves or somebody else does, and you're still busy. You still want to stay active. So you're not going to have as much time to do all the maintenance and repairs, and unless that's something you love. So again, it depends on who you are and the phase of your life you're in.
Yeah, and what we wanted to do here is just give you some golden nuggets of really what we have experienced in selling our we thought it was a beautiful home. We loved it. It was our dream home. But you know what? This is now our dream home.
Let me ask you a question then. Could you go back?
No.
There you go.
didn't.
You know?
Honestly, I do not regret moving at all, because I've now got my new life, my new chapter in my life, and I'm absolutely loving it. And somebody else who absolutely loves living here is our little Yorkie Hurricane, and let's bring him into the picture. So here's little Hurricane, and I know a lot of you love him. Another thing to consider is your pet. In a lot of condos, if you decide you want to go to a condo, they don't allow the big dogs.
Yeah, that's true.
A lot of times there's restrictions, so really look into that before you sign on the dotted line, because if there's a restriction, you know, that's a big deal for a lot of people.
I've seen a lot of people in the downtown core that have these little dogs, kind of like Hurricane, walking around, and you know what? That's okay, but to have, like you said, a really big dog, it just doesn't fit.
Yeah. So the other thing we wanted to talk about, because when Hurricane comes on the scene, hi Hurricane, what we do is we talk about our future videos, and here on the inspiration, which is youtube.com/awesomeover50inspiration, we've got some things lined up for you. We've got some more outings, and now that the cooler months are here, let's talk about some comforting things, maybe even some comfort food. Food, glorious food, one of your favorite subjects, Bill.
Hungry already.
And so we've got a few things up our sleeve for this channel. And over at youtube.com/awesomeover50, which is my beauty and fashion channel, I'm rummaging through my wardrobe right now. I'm getting different styles of sweaters and cardigans, and I'm styling them up for you to show you some different styles that you can use. And also, of course, there's more makeup and skincare reviews, and I got a little bit more self-care things coming up as well.
You know what I love about the change of the seasons, Heather? Is the change of the fashions, and also the change of the makeup. Is that true?
Oh yeah, absolutely. You change it up, you know. And I think that talking about our home right now, Bill asked me, I didn't even think about it. We're happy.
Oh, I am.
We're really happy, and you know, it was a really good move. Sometimes you don't know something's going to be a really good move until you actually go out and do it. It's a simpler way of living. There's low maintenance, and it's the way that we keep it awesome.
Keep it awesome.